Because he's been here before. In fact, Nicole, we got to talk about something that happened.
Yeah.
Let's welcome back Chris Martin. How are you?
Chris.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Quite literally just got a text message from my hubby, and he sent this picture. It's of you and him, and my daughter then wasn't even one yet, and it was exactly 10 years ago today. That you were here. It's like, but to the day. Did you do that on purpose?
I base my life on your
family
schedule.
Thank you. It's so sweet of you.
So when your anniversary comes, we're going to release our greatest hits.
Perfect.
Everything we do is based on your life.
Thank you. Thank you. That means the world.
That's the service we offer.
How are you with your schedule? Because you're clearly a busy guy. Are you somebody who's very involved in the day-to-day, or you just let somebody tell you where to go?
I really I'm so lucky that I just get to focus on doing the things I'm okay at, and the things I'm not good at, we pay someone else so much money.
They'll handle it for you.
I think it's how human society has become great, is specialization and collaboration, and we really stick to those rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you've been touring forever.
No, that's not accurate.
No.
Because we tour when you tell us to.
When I tell you to, because it's around my life and my schedule.
No, we tour very slowly now, so it seems like we've been on tour for a long time, and that is true in the sense of years. But in terms of shows, we're only about 180, I think.
So that's no big thing. Do you set it up like that so you don't burn out? Because I feel like we hear about artists all the time, like, I need a breather.
Yeah, well, we learned. Sorry to.
I need a breather. How do you do that?
Yeah, just experience and realizing, we'll enjoy it more if we go a bit slower, and we stay in cities a bit longer, and we're just so lucky to be able to do it, and so we have much more appreciation than ever too.
Do you think Taylor Swift is tired?
Yes, and she plays so much longer than we do because she has so many more hits, you see. We play all our hits, and that takes 3 minutes.
Oh, stop it.
That's not true. Come on.
Speaking of hits, not going to lie, obsessed with the new song that's out today, We Pray. Like, obsessed. It's such a different sound. It's such a cool sound. Like, first listen, loved.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
No, it's true, man. We all heard it together. Very inspiring.
Oh, thanks.
It's a new sound for you.
Yes.
I like that very much. How do you discover your featured players, like Little Sims, for example?
I'll tell you the story.
All right.
I was in Taiwan in last November, and I often wake up in the night with songs. They just come through.
Yeah.
And in Taiwan, I woke up with this song, We Pray, ready to go. At like 3 a.m, and I was like, I don't know if I want to get up, but I did, and it just took. This sounds a bit cryptic, but it sort of said who needed to be on it. And the idea of the song was, I was looking at, there's so much conflict and fighting everywhere, and people disagreeing, and I was thinking, well, all of us are praying for the same things, really.
Right.
Most people want the same good things for them and the people they love, and I think that's what the song came through about. And so it felt immediately like, we should ask a few different people to do different versions of this to sort of highlight what it's about.
Have you ever asked somebody and they said no?
Yes. Yes.
Would you like to say who it was?
No, I did. No, I don't want to say who it was.
So when you, Little Sims came out on stage with you at Glastonbury, and you guys debuted the song, and everyone on the internet was saying it was called Supernova. Did they get it wrong, or did you change the name?
Well, the song was called Supernova.
Well, yeah, there was a rumor going around because people didn't know what the song was called.
Everyone on the internet said that.
Well, I was seeing people calling it Supernova. Yeah.
That's a lot of people.
Right. No, we pray, man. We pray.
There must be like 600 people on the internet. At any one time. So no, it was always called We Pray from the first moment in Taiwan.
Interesting.
I like that.
But Little Sims is amazing, and she was so gracious, and we wanted to then ask someone who's spoke Spanish and someone who spoke Arabic, and those versions will come out too.
Performance at Glastonbury, you brought Michael J. Fox on stage with you to play guitar, and you said Back to the Future is the reason you're a band. Is that like really the inspiration?
Yeah, for sure. I think most of us who were 8 when that movie came out.
Yeah.
And that was the first thing I'd ever seen of someone performing in a band on stage. And the plot, you're too young to know, but the plot of that movie is that he's called up out of nowhere to save the day. So every time I watch that scene, it reminds me why we do what we do. It's that exhilaration, and it's just magical.
It's one of the greatest movies ever. I mean, it's honestly one of my favorite movies.
Also, speaking of when you were a kid, like when you were 8 or 9, is it true that you heard Michael Jackson's Bad?
Yes.
And then you were inspired to become a singer? Is that accurate?
I did, and before I went to boarding school, I had that on cassette, Bad on cassette.
Yeah.
And my dad is not particularly musical, but we would drive to school and he would talk about Smooth Criminal.
Hmm.
And he'd say, well, the problem is he never gives her a chance to answer if she's okay. And that's what I remember about my dad and music.
Yeah.
He asked several times.
Are you okay, Annie? Come on.
Yeah, are you okay?
Yeah.
And my dad's only comment was, well, if he just said her answer, we'd know if she's okay.
Chris Martin is here from Coldplay. We're at Morning Mashup on Instagram. And one thing we do, everybody who stops by leaves a question for the next guest.
Okay.
So we're going to give you yours now. It comes from Kerry Washington. You know her from Scandal. She's on season 2 of Unprisoned right now. And here we go.
I think I want to know your porn name, which is the name of your first pet, followed by the street that you grew up on.
All right, what's your porn name?
That's Tiggy Whitestone.
Tiggy Whitestone.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is for real?
That's for real.
That's a perfect name.
What kind of dog was Tiggy?
A cat.
Oh, Tiggy was a cat. Okay.
Yeah.
Tiggy Whitestone.
Tiggy Whitestone.
Does
Okay.
he look like more of like a dog guy to you than a cat guy?
I thought it was a dog.
Okay.
Maybe.
Funny enough, in the porn I've done, I have used that name.
Okay. Well, now it's out. We know. I'm Googling as soon as I get home. What is something that you are watching right now that you just can't get enough of?
That's a very good question. I'm watching a show called Top Boy.
Top Boy.
What's that about?
That's about drug dealers in London
Okay. All right.
and Jamaica.
All right.
That's wonderful. I'm rewatching Band of Brothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good
Ryan's
one.
It's a great
big
show.
fan. Yeah.
I'm always watching Curb Your Enthusiasm.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
I get to the end and then go back to the
Yeah,
beginning.
I know.
And 30 Rock,
Okay.
same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching a lot.
I like
realize.
that.
This is terrible.
I wouldn't think you'd have any time.
Yeah.
So you're obviously promoting We Pray, and I was reading that whenever you are getting ready to promote an album or music, that you will visit a therapist. I feel, is that wrong? This is what we. This
Where are
is
you getting your questions from? I'll answer
We
them.
know people that know people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We read it, but I'm just saying I love therapy. I'm like huge at therapy.
You're causing him to go to a therapist.
Yeah, am I?
No, well, hold on. I have a few people that I talk to, are teachers or therapists, but I do that all the time.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Not just
specifically.
Yeah.
No, I think it's for me. It's wonderful. It's amazing to have someone who you can tell everything to, and they're not going to get cross with you, or you're not going to hurt them by saying it.
Right.
So I think,
And they're not going to judge you.
well, maybe sometimes a little bit, but I think it's very healthy to have a place where you're safe to just express yourself without worrying that it's going to upset the other person.
It's funny. When we were talking to Kerry Washington, I said, I feel like it's a massage for your brain. Like everybody should have like therapy. You don't have to like have an issue or a problem.
I think it's each to their own.
Mm-hmm.
Which if it works for you, then amazing. And I know people who would never want to do that, and that's okay too.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I'm just very curious about you, because I kind of watch this. There are other Chris Martins in the world, and I just want to know: do you follow the career of Boston Red Sox pitcher Chris Martin?
I know there's a few other Chris's, and I know that I've been pushed to number 7 now because of him.
Wait, number 7 in what?
In the Chris Martins. There's a systems analyst in DC.
Okay.
There's a golf professional in Washington Heights, New Jersey. There's, of course, the Chris Martin Plumbing Company
Nice.
in Hartford, Connecticut. Then there's the baseball Chris Martin. There's a comedian.
Oh,
There's
boy.
the porn star.
Okay.
You know, not his real name.
Right.
He had a fish called Chris and lived on Martin Street.
Right.
And then there's me.
I'm glad you know them.
I feel like you should have
I'm
a
number
Chris.
7, and I'm hoping to stay.
You need to have a Chris Martin convention.
Yes, we do every Friday.
Okay. Right.
We get together. We talk about baseball, plumbing,
Nice.
fish, and the band.
Okay.